Boom.
Biddly, 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 but yes. Jesus Christ, looks like I've just come out of Antarctica, doesn't it? Sorry, fellas. You know what time it is? There ain't nobody down round here. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness, and we've just got in. It is bitter outside, innit? I've got loads of shout outs I need to do, but forgive me, I'm going to do them tomorrow because there's some people that I bumped into in the ground on Saturday that I would also like to give a shout out to. And then I haven't gone through my birthday wishes, which shout out to everybody that gave me a happy birthday the other day. It's much appreciated. But there was some super chats in there that I do want to get round to. So I want to do it properly. So yes, grab a coffee with me today because we're laying off it now because we've had an heavy week. We are back to being the squad is good now, innit? And it turns out that 3-5-2 has all the answers until you go 2-0 down. And then my man Faka switches it up and goes, do you know, 4-3-3 for large portions of this season worked. Should I try that again? And then everybody goes ghost. Everybody's mentioned, to be fair, the changes that Faka made. But nobody's really said, well, we went back to 4-3-3. And Aronson came on and changed the game and actually played really well. Actually got an assist. And that Stack really sort of excelled, even though I thought it was still decent in first half. But obviously we're up against it. And then Stack really excelled in that second half in that 4-3-3. It's not the 4-3-3. We'll just stay quiet about Stack and how he was so much more comfortable in the 4-3-3. You know, he's done well in the 3-5-2. Whoa, before everybody comes to me, he's done well in the 3-5-2. I'm still waiting for the apology tour. But it ain't coming, is it, off of any of them? They're all Farker outers. Everybody wanted him out. Ellen Road is a fortress. And what I will say is so many fans you actually bump into and talk to, which I do on the regular. You know, I talk to everybody around me in the ground and, you know, I'm starting to get to know everybody a little bit more and stuff. They're on board. There were a lad next to me on Saturday just going, oh, we went 2-0 down. And we were like, fucking hell, like, come on. You know, it's all like that side of the game that I actually enjoy, guys. So if that's happy clapping, it's fine. Because ultimately, that's what you get. You get behind the team and you get nights like that. That's 2 on the bounce. You cannot say that these players aren't bang up for it. And the majority of people don't want him out. I do believe that. And I believe that even before the Chelsea game. It's a weird survey being done online, isn't it? And of course, there is the odd staunch outer who just permanently wants him out and never wanted him in. And it's just a weird position to hold that because I feel like it's sort of overly consuming you for no reason. It's like, so you're trying to find things, when you have a thought about anything or you think you've thought something, you think you thunk something, which in reality, nobody thinks anything, do they? You know, you get influence left, right and center from people as I do, as everybody does. And you think something and then you find things that reinforce what you think. And the reality is you're better off thinking, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to football, really, why are you so consumed with what Farker's doing? There's obviously adult conversations we can have about his substitutions, even though, we'll get to, Tanaka, Stack, Tanaka, Aronson, Nonto, even to an extent, Bornau and Peru, which was all his subs. We'll get to that. They're the Farker subs that never work. But yeah, I think it's overly consuming and people now, but they don't backtrack rather than just going, do you know what? We look like we've turned a bit of a corner. And there's some big games coming up now, isn't there? We're 16th in the league. Again, back out of the relegation drop. The results largely went our way. Fulham got beat last night. Burnley obviously keep getting beat. They look shit. Wolves are shit. I believe Notts Forest got beat, but I'm guessing a little bit there. But basically, we're 16th. We're 2 points behind Fulham, which is frustrating because that's obviously the Goodmanson dump that he had when he put it in top bin that had put us a point behind them. But we can't do with buts and maybes because equally, 9 times out of 10, once you go 2-0 down against Liverpool, you don't end up scoring it last minute to get 3-3. So you kind of gain that point back on Fulham, aren't you? Even though I'm aware the teams in and around you, it's sort of more important to get the points off them to some extent. But wherever you pick the points up, you take the points, don't you? Because we thought, and I thought Farker were doomed, really. I thought we're going into these games and there's nothing we can do about it. We're probably going to get pummeled. And we haven't been pummeled once. Give up a real good fight against Man City. What a shame that was. Can you imagine? There'd have been 5 points out of 9 against literally like 3 of the best sides, not just in the country, but in the world. If you believe the World Club Football thing that Chelsea won, that is some going, isn't it? You beat them comfortably. Drew with Liverpool at last minute, having gone 2-0 down. Played really well against Man City, who I think are really going to actually charge on and try and win the league this year, even though I do maintain that they can be got at. We're 4 points behind Brentford, who we have at the weekend. So another 6-pointer incoming. Obviously, that's an away game, so I understand that. What I want to talk about a little bit is the resilience that we showed, because that's the first time really that I know we've gone goals down before, and like we did against Man City, but I know Man City just sort of split us in half, didn't they? They just pulled his pants down, stuck it straight in, quite literally from the first seconds. But it was a road on mistake, really. I actually felt like we rode the first half out, because I thought they was excellent in the first half, Liverpool, to be fair, but they don't have much bite about them, do they? I thought they were good on ball and they looked quality, but don't really feel like we were particularly up against it. It felt like it was going to go that way. And I must say, it is frustrating in the first couple of minutes of the second half, and to just concede, so weak. It was obviously, it's a road on mistake. I believe it was road on that plays the ball across, and then Ampadu just can't get there. And then obviously Ekitike is good in front of goal, isn't he? And he looks like a good player. They do have top quality, but then we don't go into meltdown. It's proper resilience. And again, having had the first half that Liverpool had, you then think they go 2-0 up. We go into panic mode ever so slightly and think we're on back of a drum in here. We're going to get absolutely butt fucked, but we didn't. We didn't panic. We didn't panic in the first half neither. And then it's just two silly moments really to get their 2 goals down. All I will say, and this is perhaps a bit of a mental thing to suggest, but the 2 goals didn't really help Liverpool. This is wild, but I feel as though they would have been better off at 1-0 for 15 more minutes. I think they thought we capitulated, which we did in that moment, but we got back in, and then the crowd got its back up, which we'll discuss. DCL's goal, the Nantes penalty that he won. I think they thought they'd done it. And then when DCL gets his goal, you could see they'd gone from complete confidence, like we've done these, we've dicked these are shit. We're back on the bandwagon. It's 3 points for us and we're off, we're marching on together again as Liverpool or whatever they sing. They sing that song that everybody else sings, don't they? We've actually got a song for ourselves. But then the thought we were finished, and then the ludicrous challenge. I mean, I actually thought it was a pen live, and I'm sort of the other side at box, to be fair, so I couldn't really see, but I jumped down a couple of steps and I did my best to see, and I thought it was a pen, but I don't know whether I was just blindly thinking it was a pen. And then when I watched it back, I mean, I can't believe there's some contention for people with it. It's a stone wall pen. It's ridiculous. What he's doing on the floor there is beyond me, but that's the shit. This is what I'm saying. And then they went, I mean, Van Dijk, who, to be honest, and I'll get pellets for this, I think he's unbelievably overrated, like on another level. I think he's very good, but I think he's totally overrated, and I actually think he's been ridiculed quite a lot in recent weeks for, turning his back on everything, and he does it all the time. He did it against Stack for the second goal, but his head went a few times. I mean, he got booked, didn't he? I didn't really see that. He'd been petulant with ref, I think. But my favourite bit, he really got his knickers in a twist. My favourite one was at the final whistle. He gets the ball and he must have booted it. He nearly booted it out the ground in like pure frustration. The heads completely went. You just saw him go. And after the DCL pen, which lovely pen, brilliant stuff, and then we're straight back in. Bogle won the ball. It must only be 30, 40 seconds later, a minute and a half. It's hard to gauge time. And the roar in Ellen Road, the home away from homes, I've never heard anything like it. Honestly, it wasn't a roar. It wasn't like a cheer. It was like a gladiatorial lions in the camp. It were like a lion's woof. I know lions don't woof, but I'm not sure what they do. They roar, don't they? But it were unbelievable. And I actually remember thinking about Bogle running forward with a ball and thinking he must, because he does that a lot, doesn't he, Bogle, where he wins it on the halfway line and then he just carries it. He's brilliant at it. And the roar, it must have thought, Jesus Christ, I am like Jesus Christ here running through on the ball. Amazing for him, an amazing passion shown by all fans and stuff. We got right behind it. Again, you've only got, Liverpool's head went, but you've only got to put a little bit of pressure on these teams and just let crowd get the back up a little bit. Because people, you go 2-0 down, you think we're going to get blasted here. And then, you just want something to cheer about. And I know that's allegedly happy clapping, but, the crowd really got going then. It went to 2-1 and obviously 2-2. Then we conceded a soft goal, Tanaka in last minute. Just absolutely madness. But I do want to talk about, because I thought the only player that I would say Nemecha was a big miss, wasn't it, for the 3-5-2ers? And I actually thought Okafor would be able to put himself about a little bit more than he did. And he seemed to do that more against Chelsea when he came off at bench, like pressing players a little bit. But it was mainly the half he played was sort of playing the other way to me. And he does try beat his man, but he just wasn't as strong. DCL needed a little bit of help because Van Dijk was eating him up. Now, I don't think, and I just mean in the air, because I think DCL was still decent, just in the air. He didn't win many duels with him. But if we'd have had the two, it'd have given Van Dijk a little bit too much to think about, because obviously that Kanate is not in the best of form at the moment and stuff. And Nemecha is a big problem. He's a big bloke. But Okafor looks like a tall enough, wide enough lad, a wide enough fella to cause a bit more of an issue than he does. But I think, he's obviously good on the ball, but Nemecha is the man up top for me, really. But I thought Nonto was exceptional when he came on. I thought Aronson was absolutely exceptional when he came on. He got a lot of shit, did Farker, for not starting with Tanaka and stuff, but Tanaka allegedly had been in the ice bath all day the day after the Chelsea game and stuff. He's putting in a real shift in, and ultimately you have to put it down to Farker, don't you? He's done it, and he's pulled it out of the bag. Nonto, Aronson, Tanaka all come on, all instrumental. Nonto obviously gets the penalty. Aronson gets the assist for Stack, and Aronson were brilliant. Aronson and Nonto really linked up quite well. Aronson was everywhere on the pitch. Obviously still shows you little frustrating moments, but he changed the game. He added that injection of energy like he does. We've got to be kinder to these players, or at least fairer with these players. You don't have to be kind to them. I mean, even to an extent, Bornau, he came on and created a little bit of chaos because he's a big dude, him. I was surprised how big he was. They stuck him up top at times, just to try and upset the apple cart. And then Parisley, when he came on, they were quite funny because obviously Amps had come off and stuff, and there were nobody to take the long throw. And Peru were like, well, am I taking it then? But, I was on that thing where, when we went 2-2, I thought there's like this weird thing where, you subconsciously, you must back off a little bit and think, oh, like we've got back. And then you sort of retreat back into what we were doing when we conceded, which makes us concede. And then obviously the carnage at the end. But yeah, and then ultimately where the apple that, or the straw that broke Salah's back, where the bad apple in his cart, because now Salah wants out of Liverpool. He obviously didn't even get on at the weekend, which is a good thing for us. And well, I don't know if it is or not. We got the job done, didn't we? I'm delighted. I'm going to be going live, guys. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I am going to get a couple of people on. I'm going to see what some people are up to in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to start going live a little bit more and getting back to the interviews because I do enjoy them, and I know you guys do. So thank you very much for everybody that watches the channel. Keep liking and subscribing. I appreciate every which one of you, as you well know. And take it easy. Enjoy your week, everybody. We've got a week off in a sense here, haven't we? Games have come thick and fast, and now thick and fast, and now we can sort of retreat, enjoy a couple of days, get the boys back in the barracks, and then let's go smash Brentford up, which will be a tough game, obviously away from home again. We don't want to go down that line. I think, pick up a point. We'll talk about Brentford more when we get to Brentford. Take it easy, everybody. See you in a bit.
Boom.